And welcome back to the Millennial Minds podcast. Today is a very special episode because today we are reviewing the Godzilla vs. Kong movie. We've waited for so long and it's finally here. I am King Ronan, and today I am joined by Neo Ego. How's it going, my man?
What's up?
And Sleep Spell.
Hello, hello.
Appreciate everybody joining us today. Let's jump straight into it. Let's go around and kind of talk about your pre-thoughts going into the movie. Were you excited? Have you seen the precursor to the movie? It's not really a sequel, but yeah, you know that. So let's just let's hand it off to Jeff first.
Yeah, I'll start. I have seen King of Monsters. I'm a big time Godzilla fan, and I had high expectations watching this movie.
And what about you, Sleep?
Me, I don't know. I love Godzilla. I was a little skeptical about Kong, but I did enjoy liking Kong. Maybe a little bit more in some parts than Godzilla. So that was a pleasant surprise. I really enjoyed it. I haven't seen like all of King of Monsters. I've seen bits and pieces of it.
From what you've seen, did you like it?
Yeah, I really liked it.
Nice.
A lot.
Oh, and also Neo, did you say you liked the precursor?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I rewatched it multiple times.
Okay, yeah. Nice. I have not seen the precursor. I have not. I am actually a small monsters fan. I like monster movies, but I've never been the hugest fan of them for the most part.
Kaijus.
Yeah, kaiju films. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to say the least, I was excited because the trailer looked stupendous.
And trailer.
Yeah, and I'm a huge movie fan, so you can get me with it swept me off my feet at the trailer. So
yeah, the marketing was good.
The marketing was fantastic.
Okay, they marketed the entire movie off that one punch.
Yeah, they really did.
And the music, I thought the music really went well with it.
Yeah, the score is definitely something that was talked about after the movie came out. But yeah. So I guess we'll jump straight into it. I kind of know where this is gonna go. So let's start with the positives.
Yeah,
let's start with the positives. So what did you like? This can be character, story, whatever you found interesting. Was it scenery, music, anything like that? So yeah, whoever wants to take it from here.
I'll go first. Yep. I really like the CGI, at least for King Kong and Godzilla. I like the CGI for both of them. They look fucking fantastic the entire movie. The fights are amazing. They're like great. They're choreographed amazing. They're shot well.
And I had my I had my concerns about the fighting. Now that you mention it.
I thought that it was gonna be a lot slower, but they kept it pretty light. It was good. Like it was always on point. Like it was action packed all the way through. And then I think one of my favorite effects from the movie was probably the effect they used in the Hollow Earth. Whenever like King Kong was like flipping sides, he was switching like up from down basically. I really liked that effect. That was good.
Was fantastic. Neo, how about you?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is the scenery. Because yes, I agree. Like Godzilla and Kong look great, but I already expect that because the movies, like the prior movies that they've had, like were good. So if it dipped in quality at all, that would be like a major blow to the movie. Like, I didn't notice anything in particular, like in the detail. I feel like the up close shots of Godzilla in particular, like his face, like when he was mean mugging, like those looked really good. I was like,
really good.
Like,
yep.
Like the scales and like really showing.
It almost looked like, mo-capped, almost.
Yeah, that little like smile. It was weird. I didn't know how to feel. I liked it.
That happened twice in the movie, also.
Yeah, I don't think we ever got that close to Godzilla's face, like for them to show or like express like him at like.
Yeah, actually,
I remember. Yeah, just like an expression on his face. But the thing out of this movie that really calls me are the two landscape themes. The first one, which is the opening, with Kong, where it felt like a Pixar movie,
Yep, it
where he's
really did.
asleep and he's just scratching his ass and taking a shower in a waterfall.
Yeah,
That whole thing, I wonder how much time that took to use something for only like 15 seconds.
Yep. But
Like, because that whole
That's
scene is beautiful.
it is a beautiful scene. They really do show off Skull Island really well, or not Skull
Well,
Island, but wherever
yeah,
it's living.
that was like the test
A
dome that they put
hologram,
him in. Yeah.
and he was definitely they were definitely able to make him seem like a human from the opening
Yeah.
scene of the movie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll
You bring
get
up mocap, and I feel like they definitely had to do that with Kong because like
Yeah,
his
definitely.
motions and stuff felt so realistic.
They did a fantastic job. Never did it seem off.
The second place is the Hollow Earth thing. Even though I don't know how I feel about it, just its involvement in the movie itself, but it looked great. It was a it was a spectacle. Like it was pretty. Like it kind of gave me Magic the Gathering vibes. Like some land cards have like, oh, it's like everything you're seeing is like a halo ring or something. Where there's another level of Earth above you. It's like, oh, where's the sunlight coming from?
Yeah,
I
there
guess
was a sun there. I remember like as soon as they went down there, the first thing I thought was I was like, "Damn, there's a sun down here. How is that possible?"
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
don't think about it too long.
It was definitely beautiful though. Like they
it was
definitely.
beautiful. They did a fantastic job making it look good.
Any other thoughts on the good there, Neo?
Like I said, I do agree. Like the fights were cool. That's about all I can really say. Like,
Okay, so we'll leave the juicy part for later.
yeah.
Okay.
Ronan, what were your thoughts on it?
There were plenty of things I liked in the movie. Like I'm not as pessimistic as the people on the internet that I've been seeing. Yeah, those numerous parts I enjoyed. Like from the dynamic from Millie Bobby Brown's character and her friend and the conspiracy theory of their relationship was actually kind of refreshing, and actually I felt it was genuinely funny. Like it didn't feel corny or cheesy, really. To me.
I really enjoyed the trio.
Yeah,
They were good.
yeah. I forget the one guy's name. What's his name again?
Bernie.
Yeah,
And
Bernie.
The
Yep.
kid is Josh.
Bernie and Josh. Yeah, actually, Bernie and Josh's relationship was really cool too. That actually kind of developed over the movie too.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. The scenery was always beautiful. The CG never like broke my immersion. I was always like, okay, it's always cool. The fight scene on the water was terrific. I didn't know how they was gonna handle that. I think they handled it pretty well. It ended kind of weirdly, but we'll get into that one a little bit later. Other things. The little girl and Kong's relationship. The little girl who speaks sign language.
Yeah,
that was actually pretty good. Like that actually kind of grew on me. Yeah. So yeah.
I have her name right here, and I don't remember it ever being said, but it's.
I don't think it was.
Jaya.
I don't think it was.
Jia.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I might have been tripping. I might have missed it.
Yeah, they said her name very much if they did.
Yeah, I don't remember particularly. Other goods like I thought the scenery was beautiful. The score was nice. Like when they went to the Hollow Earth, like they really took their time on like developing what that looked like. Like the upside down look of it was really unique.
The floating gem things.
Yep, really unique. Yep.
I got another one.
What's
that
that?
I would add.
What's that?
I did like the scene at the end where they're in Hong Kong.
Which one?
Like towards the end of the movie, they're in Hong Kong, and it's got all those neon lights on the skyscrapers.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like that was. It's just my mind kind of overlooked it. It was kind of short, and also it's just before the actual climax of the movie.
It was. What was you saying,
There was a scene from there that actually, like, I'll bounce off of what Neo said. They recreated the classic Godzilla shot where it's like the like thin alleyway and you just see him like walking across like
Oh
behind.
yeah, like the callback to the originals.
I really like that shot.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yep. Most people didn't
I
even
didn't catch
notice.
that.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
cool.
failed.
I was
Yeah.
surprised I even saw it, but I was like, damn, that looks really good.
Yeah, I definitely noticed. Yep. Okay. Anything else you boys want to add? Anything else good you guys see? Any other characters that sticked out to you that you thought you?
They're it's not makeup, but their prop work, like
What do you mean?
making some of the, like for example, the giant skull of
Yep.
Ghidorah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like that like there's a lot of work
that
done
was
because
really
that's not CG. They
Yeah.
actually had to make that.
Yep.
real.
And like they turned it into like it's not just a skull. Oh yeah, it's like a big computer. There's a guy sitting inside of it and he's got like a desk, and got like VR headset. Like all that prop work, like I
Yeah,
gotta commend them for that. Like it
Mm.
looked cool and it looked good. Didn't look jank.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
no, a
Yeah.
lot of
Definitely did.
definitely very well made, professionally made. They took their time with it. I
Yep.
enjoyed.
Definitely. The characters that really stood out to me was God, I forget his name every time. The black guy.
Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie. Bernie definitely stuck out. Like, I guess he's just the funny guy. Always kind of sticks out.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Millie Bobby Brown later, and the friend was really cool.
Josh.
I was that's actually not a good. We'll say that for later too. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, kind of wraps it up for the goods.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you guys want to jump into the story here? Because this is highly debated on the interwebs as well. Like,
That's the thing they didn't spend a lot of time on.
yeah, this
Yeah.
is highly criticized here because, and this is kind of when it went out. Shit went left for me personally. So yeah, let's just toss it out. Whichever one of you boys want to take it first.
I
What
think you
stuck
should.
out? What was bad? What's up?
I think you should take it first. Honestly.
Sure, I'll go with it. The problems with the story. Where do I start here?
Yeah. Where do you start?
Let's start with Millie Bobby Brown because I feel like that's the earliest when things get noticeable. Like, I just don't understand why she's in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a Millie Bobby Brown fan, but she
And I
did
know
nothing, like, at all.
people will say that she was in
Mhm.
King of Monsters, which she was, but it's
Mhm.
like the difference is that she
Okay.
didn't do anything.
Yeah, there's a highlight that like she was in King of Monsters, which she kind of formed a relationship with Godzilla, not directly, but kind of like indirectly.
Yeah.
So where was the play to that in this movie? Because there was
Not
none.
there.
There
It
was
was
none.
non-existent.
There was zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was literally like This is oh, spoilers for anybody out there listening. This
Well,
is
If you're watching a
yeah.
review,
She literally learns of the situation from a conspiracy theorist radio show. Like,
yeah, she doesn't even.
it's really it's almost like they just had her under contract, so she had to be in the movie. So they formed this little trio here that
Yeah.
luckily it kind of worked for me, but her storyline I didn't care about at all, like
Yeah.
0%. So what do you guys think about that? Start there.
And the mysterious disappearance of her mom from
Yeah.
the last
Yeah.
movie.
Never touched again.
I would say that a lot of the jokes from that trio
Mm-hmm.
fell flat to me.
Oh,
Not because
okay.
they weren't funny, but it was because every time they came on screen, I wasn't paying attention
Okay,
because
I
like
see.
I mean, that's fair.
I
Yeah,
see.
you
I
just kind of you're like, well, when's the action coming up?
like all right, I'm gonna get back on Instagram real quick.
Yeah, I personally love the tap water joke, and that was like a running theme throughout the
That
movie
part
too.
joke was
Yeah.
Yeah,
There-
I thought it was funny, and it was with his character because he's a conspiracy theorist. So,
I like
I don't know if it's my age. It's just harder to make me like actually laugh
I see. Yeah,
verbally, like
I see.
audibly.
I see.
So like it's like, oh yeah, I think that's like haha, but
Yeah,
like literally nothing's happening with my body.
yeah.
I'm watching the movie.
Like if it wasn't for his comedic efforts, I think
Yeah.
that storyline would have stuck out even more to me. Like if that was a different guy that was just like maybe a cool guy with a lot of swagger or something, like
yeah.
it would have stuck out even more as a, I'm gonna say a plot hole, but like a
Yeah, like that would have left all the comedy or the comedic relief up to the kid,
Mhm.
Josh.
yeah.
Would have been
Which Josh was cool. I like this character. Like
I liked him too, but
Yeah.
he needs someone else there. I feel
Mhm.
like to make those jokes
Mhm.
better.
So what did you
But
think about like Millie Bobby Brown's relationship with her father and like how that kind of like progressed through the movie?
she had one. She had a relationship with her dad. I didn't even.
I mean,
She, for people that haven't watched the movie and they're just listening to a review first, she talks to her father probably twice in this entire movie.
yeah,
But like
Yeah.
every time he comes up, we're supposed to care.
yeah,
I didn't. I saw him 3 times in the entire movie, and every time he came on, I knew he wasn't gonna do anything, and he
hmm
didn't. They called him at the end. They were like, "Hey, we need you in Hong Kong," and then they never showed him again.
yeah. Neil, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You said you've seen the precursor, right?
Yeah.
Was Millie Bobby Brown and her dad's relationship like heavily
Yeah.
relied on, like
And
it was like flushed out?
yeah, it
Okay.
made more sense for that movie in particular. I think the whole issue here with this movie is like it's Godzilla and Kong.
Yep.
Yeah,
But what happens is the Kong side of the story, like all the characters, they fall off, and it's mostly like with this movie, kind of seems it's more of a Kong movie because Godzilla, for the first 2/3 of the movie, he's the bad guy.
Yep. 100%.
So
yeah,
uh, there's just like nothing to connect you with Godzilla.
Mm.
And like there's nothing to connect you with the characters that
Yep.
are human.
hmm
So all that you as the viewer want to see is the monsters fight.
hmm
But there's not really a whole lot of that.
hmm
It is nice when you do get it, but
And the reason I asked you that, it just seems like they was riding off the back of that movie instead of
yeah,
like touching on it in
yeah,
this movie and
I've
like
said the same thing.
so yeah. That
they. It's almost like they clearly just took the 2 storylines and mashed them together, and then we're like, "All right, Kong and Godzilla are gonna fight." But it's kind of weird because it's like they don't expand on the story for any of the Kong like characters really, but it they try to expand with the Godzilla characters almost, but they don't
Yeah,
because there's nowhere to go because Godzilla's everywhere the entire movie.
hmm
He's all over the map. So it's like you're left with characters on the Kong side that aren't doing anything, but just like, hey, here's King Kong. And then the other characters for Godzilla are trying to figure out what the fuck Godzilla's doing.
yeah. Where
They
is
don't,
he? What is he doing? And
they
they
don't
can't catch up to him.
they never find him, and they
hmm
never like meet him.
I see.
Which
Okay.
is funny because that whole element is done in the last in King of the Monsters, and uh, I just feel like they're retreading the same waters. It's just like Godzilla, because like in the last movie, if you remember, like the whole thing was, oh, he's got subterranean channels,
hmm
and like that's how he moves
Yeah,
around so fast. But this movie, it's yet again Godzilla's going all over the place, searching for energy spikes, and
yeah,
I
it's just
guess,
doing the same thing he always does. It's like why
yeah.
different?
I see. I see. But yeah, that's yeah. I guess it stemmed from the Millie Bobby Brown discussion. So anything, another story point that I had a problem with was the. I mean, it ain't that I had a problem with the going to the middle of the earth thing. It just seemed like
They
it was
yeah.
just kind of what I would like to call an ass pull. Like it was just like it's like they had 3 different storylines and they couldn't pick, so they was like we're gonna do all 3.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
Mm.
saying? So
but like 2 of them didn't go anywhere, and one of them ended up at the end, but it was like kind of like, that's a
yeah,
weird.
yeah, and the fact that there was no other like Kongs down there
Yeah,
was a little weird too. I thought there was an opportunity that they missed, or
yeah, they could have. That's more Kong
like
movies.
yeah, they
Just
gave Kong so many other human traits to show him with a family would have been the ultimate. I would think. I would
They
think
gave him
everybody
a
would
tool.
appreciate that. But instead, he goes into a tree place and sits on a throne.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and another story point, like the whole like blue energy thing and his weapons powered. Like
Yeah.
there was no
Yeah.
explanation. There was
they didn't explain why
Yeah.
how
They're
it
just like, oh, there's this thing here.
like it
yeah,
glows, and I was like, okay, but what does it do now that it glows?
yes,
It didn't explain it.
and there were multiple weapons there. Like and like
Yeah, he just took the axe.
Um, What I saw though, this is just my guess,
Mm-hmm.
but it looks like a scale of Godzilla or an older Godzilla,
Yeah, it did.
and
Yeah.
Are you talking
like
about
it
the one
just
that fell?
absorbs the one that he's got, the one that he puts in the little indent, and it created that Godzilla like swirl, like Ouroboros design around his throne on the ground.
Yep.
Like, uh, I feel like those weapons were just made from like Godzilla scales,
Yeah.
and hence why like it can easily absorb his radiation. It still doesn't
Yeah, but
explain the whole.
we shouldn't have to
It
like
doesn't.
theorize
Yeah,
so
we shouldn't
Right,
have to
right.
theorize it, but like I feel like this phrase right here is going to get repeated a lot. This is a movie of a lot of missed opportunities.
it is. It really
Yeah.
Like
is.
so many. Like, oh, another thing that I forgot to mention that was actually a good part of the movie was like the whole like they're drawn to each other, this alpha male type of battle thing. Like
Yeah.
that whole storyline, that was like the only interesting storyline that was
Yeah.
there, instead of like
Well-
focusing on the humans and like trying to get Kong to do what they want. And like it's so tropey that it's just like kind of checked out on the storyline mode midway through. Maybe it's just me though. What
No,
do
I
you
mean
guys think?
I completely understand. And on that point, when they talk about like how they can sense each other and like
Mm-hmm.
tell, they mention that in the beginning, like when like the movie, like the opening credits are happening, they mention it,
Yep.
and then the rest of the movie, they don't mention it directly, but they
Mm-hmm.
just like dance around it.
Mm-hmm.
They're like they'll
Yeah,
just
it's
like
like
they're like it's so weird. It's almost as if Kong,
yeah, it's like they don't confirm
like
it, but they just like, oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that.
I'm like just say it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, but let's go back to the because remember we talked about
The what?
the sea battle and how
Yeah,
that ended. I just
yeah.
wanted to touch on this really quick because I just didn't
So
understand. So maybe somebody can
the doctors were Dr. Lind, and Dr. Andrews were both like, "Oh yeah, we're losing this fight. Like we're out in the middle of the ocean. We you know, can't let it get too far where they're just fucked, right?" So
Yep.
they're like, uh, Godzilla was like swirling around,
Yep.
like he was way out in the ocean. He
Yep.
was probably gonna come back,
Yeah, and they was
and
trying to
Kong
bomb them
was
with the
already laying.
planes.
Yeah, Kong was already laying, and they were like, "Oh, if we pretend to play dead, then he'll take it as an act of like we're no longer antagonizing him." So they turned off all the fleet of ships and stuff, and Kong just, which that's weird, right? They tell
Weird
this
is the word
plan,
you use. Weird.
right? Well, it's odd or whatever. It's just like I'm just now thinking they didn't say anything or communicate anything to Kong, but he just laid there. You know,
Yeah,
it's
he
like
was
Kong
tired.
wouldn't
Like
want to
he.
keep. Yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah, because the
Kong
rest of
wouldn't want to continue fighting because there's no reason why he wouldn't. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
the rest of the movie after that fight, they make Kong out to be like he'll never stop fighting. He'll fight until he can't like fight
Yeah, he
anymore.
was ready to get up and fight at
But
the end
it's
of the
like
climax.
yeah, but for some reason that one ship battle,
He
that
did
fight,
almost drown though. Like
yeah, he
he was.
did choke
Yeah.
an ocean's worth of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, but
Um.
just like the battle stopping because they played dead. I just found that very
Yeah.
odd. Like that's a very like
I
Ended
odd
it.
choice.
I see
Like
what you're saying, but I also bought it because it was like it's Godzilla's not like trying to kill and destroy things. He's trying to
fight
make
Kong.
sure that there is no threat. No, it's not even about Kong, because it's the whole thing about his status as the king of monsters. And I just saw it as like, oh, you know,
He's number
it,
one now.
my fucking example of this, my metaphor was like with dogs. Like it was just trying to be the alpha, like literally, just like it's my territory, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know in that scene, Godzilla, like from I don't know how long of a distance of away, but he like squinted real hard, did
Yep.
that mean mug, that up close like
Yeah.
headshot mean mug way across the way at Kong's body, and Kong also was looking at him, but I don't think they actually locked eyes. There's no way they could actually tell that each other were actually looking at each other.
Yeah, the way they humanize Godzilla and Kong in this movie is it was weird at first. It grew on me, but
and then Godzilla, definitely in Kong. Godzilla has his moments where he's just like, he's definitely like, all right, I'm the apex predator. I don't need to kill you. I can, like, I've already proved myself.
I feel like I saw a different Godzilla this movie, to be honest. Like, if you compare him to the last movie, because, like I said, with this one, he's portrayed as the bad guy.
Yeah, he's like a monster in this
one. Like, whatever he's doing makes no sense,
yeah.
and
we was talking about this pre-podcast, and like you remember the opening scene for Kong and the music that was playing.
Yeah,
and then you remember the opening scene for Godzilla and the music that was playing then.
Yeah,
it's a big difference, and definitely
Godzilla
sides
with
chosen.
Miami.
Yep. Was there any other places in the story where it kind of like broke down for you, or you noticed, or for you guys?
This is such a small detail, and like. Jeff, you, an actual like huge fan of Godzilla, said that this didn't really bother you, so like it probably won't bother most actual Godzilla fans. But like when I was watching the movie and Godzilla invaded Miami, we've talked about it already. That Mechagodzilla's eyeball that you see, if you don't pay like really close attention to like what it looks like, I feel like an average watcher won't know.
Yeah,
later
like me, because I did not see it. I was like, why is he attacking Florida? Sorry.
Yeah, I think this is going back to the movie not explicitly saying, like, explaining what like, a lot of it is just left to your interpretation, like, left just for you to watch the movie instead of them explicitly saying, this is that, you know, like it's an episode of Speed Racer. You're like, oh no, he's jumping so he can, like, you know, like they're fully explaining things through dialogue. And
they do that a lot in this movie, almost to a point where it's too much. Like they have a lot of scenes where they just like
I would agree.
They're like, "Hey, we're gonna do this," and then the next scene is them like done. Like they've already done it, and they're like, "All right, we're here."
Like just because I said that I could understand what it was and I knew what it was doesn't mean that it was good, because the way that it was done, you know, failed viewers.
I think
I think my biggest one, like the biggest like weird skip that they did was after the boat fight. Dr. Lind looks at Dr. Andrews and asks I think he asks how well Kong can fly.
Yeah.
And then the very like next time you see Kong is they're already in Antarctica, and he's like being like I'm like, that's fine. I don't mind like you skipping like him getting in the net and stuff. But I was like, did anything happen in between?
I'm pretty sure that they filmed it and they made a directorial choice to cut that out.
Yeah,
it seems like that type of thing.
I wonder like why, like what was so bad that they were like, yeah, we have to cut all this out.
Kind of a mess.
Yeah.
And the movie wasn't even that long. Like
it wasn't.
How much?
Look at this. It says an hour and 53, and I don't even think that's including the credits.
Yeah, it's probably 20 minutes of credits. Yeah.
Jeez, like I'm pretty sure. I pull up fucking King of Monsters. I was pretty sure that it was like past 2 hours. Yeah, it's 2 hours and 12 minutes.
I see.
I felt that there was plenty more content in the last movie than this.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes. What do y'all think about Mechagodzilla?
Okay. Yep. This is a good topic here.
I have mixed feelings.
I have no lore knowledge of Mechagodzilla, or if he existed before these movies. I don't know if that was a thing beforehand. It was. I see.
He's a recurring villain along with Ghidorah.
I see. Okay.
Godzilla has a handful of you can honestly say every villain Godzilla comes across is recurring, except for the ones that are one-offs.
Like even King Kong is technically a Godzilla villain, right?
Yeah.
I see.
Well, Godzilla villain that ends up being an ally.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm gonna take this from a story angle here.
Take it from a new viewer.
Like the entire thing that like we reconstructed a Godzilla-like robot thing to become the apex predators of humans, so we don't have to fear Titans anymore. I felt was a little weak and kind of simplistic, and there was no like build up to like it was just revealed that they had this thing. It was no like
bringing out of the floor, and they were like, "All right, here he is."
And this goes to the CEO of Apex and what's the Asian actor's name, or the Asian guy?
He's like
remember? Yeah, and his character had no development at all. There's no way anybody, the average viewer, could care about that character. And they treated him like that because he died in a split second. Like there was no justice to him at all. And also the CEO of Apex was done the same way. So and the fact that Ghidorah's spirit took over the machine is a little weak to me too.
Well,
also,
you could say spirit. It could be physical too, because it's like that thing is that skull that they had.
Yeah.
You haven't seen the last movie, but
no, I haven't.
Sleep, you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know that had flesh, like that. It had flesh, so they had to have removed it, and I guess for good measure, like they didn't want it to have like be too close to fully forming the body. And what we get in this movie is just the skull, and they're saying that they're harvesting, I guess, the blood, because there's blood coming out of the bone, so it's like constantly regenerating.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm assuming it's kind of, again, this is the whole left to interpretation flaw that is just riddled throughout this movie.
Yep.
But you could say spirit. It could be a more physical aspect of that, which is the blood.
But I think the problem is they didn't say it. So we're just talking about it like who knows. You know what I'm saying?
That's just to reiterate the point, is that like they really don't portray exactly what they're trying to say to people, to the viewers in this film.
And then right after they don't tell you what they're doing, they throw it at you, and then you're like, "Wait, wait, was I supposed to know about this?"
But with
there was a lot of problems with Mechagodzilla, though.
So there's a couple things. Story wise, I got an issue. I think it's all right. Like I let it by, but it's like they're using Ghidorah's head to make Mechagodzilla when it could have just been, we could have gotten Mecha Ghidorah.
Yeah, so it was weird.
You could have done a completely different thing. You could have just forgotten, like completely hid away the whole skull thing, and actually use that in like an end credits thing. Like someone will take up Apex, and then they'll bring fucking Mecha Ghidorah. Easy.
Mm-hmm.
And like Mecha Ghidorah, in my opinion, is a way cooler Godzilla villain than Mecha Godzilla.
Okay, so let me ask you guys this question. So there is in the history of Godzilla a Mecha Godzilla and a Mecha Ghidorah?
Yes.
There's both.
There's more than that too.
Okay, nice. Okay.
There's a lot of fucking characters in Godzilla.
Okay, nice. Go ahead. Sorry.
So there's like 5 to 7 Mecha Godzillas, like different iterations. There's 3, like I'm saying that, like, think of Mark 2 and Mark 4 of Iron Man, right? His suits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's different models, but there's about 3 different legit Mechagodzillas in terms of where the core came from, like how they, like their origin, because one is from aliens, one is created by humans, and then the other one, I think it has like an unknown origin. Like it's more like, it manifested on its own, like it is a living, mechanized version of Godzilla.
Yeah, I guess that's what they were trying to do with this one, like mix the man-made and the.
Yeah, but with the whole Ghidorah background, like I just don't get that. It's fine. I didn't care as long as what I got was cool. It looks fine, but it's kind of, I know, bringing up a recent thing with Cyborg. He kind of looked too lightweight. I'm like, you're trying to match Godzilla, but like his form, his body looks slightly different.
He was skinny. I really did think I was like, you could put some beef on that
And
robot.
they didn't put a whole lot of tools on him. Mecha Godzilla is known to have so many attacks because he's just riddled with tools, like
Yeah, he has,
different.
like, rockets and you can fly.
Yeah.
You can,
Now I
like,
did like his like drill tail. That was
Yeah.
cool.
I think
yeah, but
power wise,
see, I
he
like the
was
drill
really
tail,
broken though.
but at the same time, I don't like the drill tail because that's like the most basic, like,
Yeah, it
weapon.
is basic, but it is something that he's known to have.
Yeah,
And then he had a shock punch, which that's not from what I remember. I don't remember the first Mechagodzilla ever having like a shock punch, and that that thing. He was using that multiple times on both Kong and Godzilla and fucking them up with
Yeah,
his hands.
he
yeah,
was.
we
I'm
were.
like, damn.
Well, I guess this is a perfect way to segue to this. So, what did you guys think about the climax fight?
I
I thought it was
liked
pretty
it.
good. Probably the most.
Okay, how about like that? What was there good things you liked about it, and was there bad things you liked about it, or did you like it all? Was in general?
I have mixed things. Like it was tropey. Like I
In
knew
what
God
way?
was gonna come back, and I knew Godzilla was
Okay.
gonna like at the last second save Godzilla or Kong was gonna come back. My bad if I said
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kong. I knew Kong was gonna fucking save the day, and then they were gonna team up and beat the shit out of Mechagodzilla.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was totally.
But on the other hand, I don't necessarily mind the tropiness, and I did like the fight.
Mhm.
Godzilla got his fucking shit rocked.
Mhm.
Uh, but I mean, so did King Kong. So I think it was a good. I think it was a good fight overall.
Any negative?
Yeah.
Oh well, for you, Neo?
I was just gonna say, yeah, I think a mark of a good fight is when everybody's got some good battle wounds.
Yep,
Yeah.
100%, and they definitely had those.
Negative stuff, just kind of going on off of what he said, where it was like predictable. That kind of it did irk me that it
Yeah.
was predictable. And just the variety, like if
Yeah,
like,
it felt
like I said with the shock punches, like he was just throwing them back to back. He's like, well, fine, if I can't shoot you with my red beam of death, because like this entire movie, if you haven't noticed, they every time they try to use a beam power, it was
yeah,
just a show of power. But when it comes to main character monsters, someone has to get cucked. They have to like be blocked or turn their head just so
yeah,
that they don't get hit because you know that beam will fucking kill you.
Yep, 100%.
yeah. They buffed that beam in this movie. I didn't know it was that
Yeah, and he
crazy.
spams it. He spams it.
Godzilla shot
Oh,
that laser the entire movie. That was
I mean,
crazy.
it,
It was
it
good.
is Godzilla's like best
Yeah, but I
fucking
loved
movie.
it. I have no complaints. I thought it was a great effect. Like when he kept on like trying to charge it up and
Yeah,
Kong kept
I
punching
love
him.
that. I love that sound
Yeah,
when it's
that was
charging.
good. Yeah, it was good. Um, in general, I liked it, and this is coming from a newer viewer to was it to
Kaiju.
to kaiju movies. It's I didn't know they were going to team up when I was watching the movie. I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that happened in the history. So I kind of seen it coming. So I can see where you coming. Like it was a little tropey.
Yeah, the only reason I would say that I even like thought like it was gonna happen is just because like I don't know. I feel like every versus movie nowadays should have a little asterisk next to it, and
Yeah,
then
I
in
call
very
it
small font
slash
should
team up.
say Godzilla versus Kong for 2 hours, and then the
So,
last 30 minutes they're gonna team up.
yeah, slash team up.
they better not do that with Freddy versus Jason too.
Oh, that
Lord,
I
oh
want to see
ooh.
Freddy beat Jason's
oh, they
ass.
And
I mean, that was
guys, we will be live immediately when that goes live. So
yeah,
yeah,
Lord have
yeah,
mercy.
that's a big one. But yeah, overall, I like the fight. It was pretty cool. The amount of destruction and the millions of people that died. It
Oh
was
yeah.
pretty crazy.
We
Because
don't talk
oh
about
yeah,
those.
there's a big complaint on the interwebs that I've seen recently about Godzilla when he was stomping on Kong's chest and
Yeah.
looking deep into his eyes. A lot of people were upset about that. They was upset
Why
like
they were upset that he was
yeah, there was
like
something like
so
that went
dominant.
against Godzilla's character, like that, like he went too far. That's what they were saying. He went too far.
I
Went too
mean,
far. I feel like going too far is
it's
Godzilla
like
killing him.
I
yeah, I was just
mean,
I feel like going too far is Godzilla like biting his throat out.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
sucking his brains from the back of his skull.
Yeah, like
Yeah, but that was a big thing online. Then,
Although he did eat Ghidorah's head.
Yeah, and also they was talking about the Kong scene where he ripped the snake's face, the head off, and then drunk the blood.
Yeah,
that was another one that went a little too far for people.
There was a few times where like Kong broke character,
Yeah.
where he's like, "I'm not human right now," and
Yeah,
he would
it's
just
like I'm
go,
not human right
weirdly
now. I'm back
crazy.
to my primal
But then
state.
he was just like, "All right, now I'm a human. I am philosophical."
Yeah, now I know sign language and I can communicate with 3-year-old girls. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, okay, so I had to check on this. I
Mhm.
was like, the soul of a movie is typically its writers and director, right?
Yep, 100%.
And it is different between the last movie and this one.
Are the
Uh,
writers different?
yeah, the writer of King of the Monsters was and director is Michael Daugherty and also Zach Shields,
Okay.
and a few other people, but they're not.
Direct.
Mike Daugherty is like added on, like also a writer, but he's not the director. It's Adam Wingard and
Yep.
this Terry Rossio guy.
I see.
Yeah.
So you
this-
definitely can feel the difference.
Yeah. Because like I said before, I was like, I feel like I got a different Godzilla, and that might be the reason why.
Yeah, 100%. Like Godzilla did not feel like a good guy in this movie at all.
No, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like they made him
Stupid.
very villainous.
Any last thoughts on the climactic fight?
I don't really have much to say.
Yeah, it was like on the reviews and everything. This is the part most people loved about the movie. Most people were satisfied with the fight.
I was shocked that Mechagodzilla was the twist. Like I was shocked when I first heard about it. Like if I hadn't been spoiled about it and I had watched the movie, I would have been like, "Oh damn, that's Mechagodzilla."
Yeah.
I don't want to sound too big-headed, but I kind of called it because looking back at the history, if they retreaded the same thing that the original Godzilla vs. Kong movie turned out to be, it would have just been Godzilla losing because that's what happens in the original in America.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, it was like Godzilla won,
Yeah,
but
Kong
he
is
didn't.
America's.
Yeah, because he didn't even kill Godzilla, but like Godzilla got beaten pretty bad in the American release of that movie, and it was because like literally this is symbolism. Godzilla represents Japan, and Godzilla is America, so it was kind of like a dick fight of nations.
And also Kong takes a lot of L's in this movie. Like without the help of humans, he would have took a lot of L's. He literally dies and gets rizzed.
Yeah, he does. He does get rizzed. They shock his heart with a spaceship.
Yeah, that. What
Yeah.
the hell?
Yeah, it
I
was.
was blacking that out.
So technically, you remember when you said if Godzilla would have killed him? Technically, he did.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
Godzilla did.
Yeah.
Like indirectly, it wasn't like
Yeah.
he beamed him or
Yeah.
like
It's like shooting someone in the leg and then letting them bleed out.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, nah, you can't go to the hospital. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's get to our final thoughts here.
I have an interesting thing before we get to our final thoughts. Do you guys have any like a specific scene in the movie that just like you specifically liked the most?
A
That, like, just stuck
specific
out?
scene?
Yeah, just something, or just like a part of the movie that stuck out to you.
I gotta say it's the Hollow Earth shit because it was just so out of left field.
Yeah, I think people would have been excited if they would have just got a Hollow Earth movie.
That's what they should have done, honestly.
Yeah, and we would have had more monsters to show up because really this movie was just Kong, Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla. There were those little things,
Fake things,
and the one thing in the test room that Mechagodzilla fucked up that was from Skull Island.
yeah, he
I
fucked
forgot what they're called, Skull Crushers or something like those.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's a reused creature, but I wanted to see more. And I guess that's just my expectation. It's a sequel, and if a proper sequel to me needs to always try to outdo the last movie, a proper one. And I just feel like they kind of missed a lot of boxes. They didn't check them for me.
Yeah, a movie of missed opportunities.
Yeah, that Hollow Earth scene, as much as it's weird, I did like it, and like that them going through the portal, like that little bit reminded me of was it Guardians 2 or was it Infinity War, where they're like jumping through the portals and they're like, do you remember what
Yeah.
scene I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, whoa, 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 and it's like
They're fucked up. Yeah.
yeah, it's like fucking up their brains or something. Like that's what it felt like because they're like pulling through all that light and shit. It was cool, but I just don't understand why. Like it was.
They should have just gone to Hollow Earth and then made the movie there.
100%. I wouldn't say I had a favorite scene, but something that really stuck out to me was just it was kind of like Kong's attitude in the relationship between Kong and Godzilla, like the whole "we're drawn to each other" thing, alpha male. But there's kind of like a respect at the same time. It's not like I want to ruthlessly slaughter you and your family or anything like that. It's like I just want to have a good fight. See what I'm saying? And that's why I don't think they want to kill each other, because who else would they fight if they killed each other? See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're the last two remaining. So I kind of like that relationship between the two. That was like my favorite thing about the movie, probably.
I'm sorry. Did they say that in the movie?
What?
That they're the last Titans?
No, but
I'm pretty sure though, because like
I'm pretty sure.
Because I'm pretty sure Godzilla's killed the rest of them, right? Like Mothra's
Wait,
but like
wait, what? For real?
Ghidorah is
Maybe
dead.
I missed something. Maybe I need to rewatch this movie because it just I felt like it didn't say anything about it, but it's just like, oh, everyone else receded.
Yeah, because
Like,
I remember them saying like there was a zone where they come from,
yeah,
but they didn't say anything further.
Well, they said that they come from the Hollow Earth. They said that's where all the Titans live.
right. Which is
where Kong.
God.
Yeah, this movie is
yeah.
It gets
They
a little
are
sloppy
from
with the details.
The last movie did say that they're from there, but it was more like akin to something like the Underdark and Dungeons and Dragons, where it's just literally you could go down into it. It's like a physical place. But why is it in this movie that it's saying it's almost like a pocket dimension?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's separated by a portal.
I thought it was gonna be like a long like tube, like all the way down to like the center of the earth, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like
Yeah, caves or something.
But like, nah, it was kind of weird. Yeah, no, that was interesting. I have two. What's up?
No, go ahead. I was about to ask you your favorite scene.
Oh yeah, I had two little like things that I liked in the movie. One is that whenever you can see Godzilla mean mugging, you can see that he's missing a few of his front teeth.
Oh, I did not notice that. That's crazy.
I noticed that some of his front teeth are missing. And then my favorite scene in the movie is when Godzilla is in Hong Kong and he just stops in the middle of Hong Kong and blasts a hole through the center of the earth.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't know what was going on at first. Yeah,
I love that scene so much.
I gotta agree, that was hilarious. It makes me think of that meme where the kid just looks down and starts screaming.
Yeah,
and like people have like modded over on top of it, like he's a Super Saiyan. He's going and that's what I was thinking. Is like Godzilla gets mad and he goes Super Saiyan.
Yeah,
he's just screaming into the ground.
I thought he was gonna jump down there and fight Kong down there. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Nah, he was definitely trying to drill a hole through the
I just realized like a huge ass plot hole that they didn't even address. I feel like, or maybe they did. Maybe I didn't see it. Okay, wait. So Kong had to go through a portal to get to like the Hollow Earth, but Godzilla blasted a hole through the earth and was able to see Godzilla. I mean, Godzilla blew a hole through the earth and was able to see Kong.
Wait, did he get to see him?
Yeah, because remember he screamed at him.
Yeah.
They yell at each other, and then like he climbs down.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That screams.
That is really weird. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I just now realized that
they did create special ships and stuff.
Rock like avalanche thing, because like the cave was caving in. Whatever. Right.
That was so weird. I mean, it's a monster movie, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna think about it too deeply. It's just like, damn.
Yeah, that's
see that.
It should be tagged onto this movie. Godzilla versus Kong. Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Don't think about it. Just watch it.
Yep.
Just watch the fights and then.
My final thoughts is, as a longtime fan who had high expectations coming off of the last movie, it was kind of middle of the ground. Like, some things were good, others were not. It was pretty lackluster, but I'd say it's middle of the ground. It's a 5 for me. I do want to see more, but I am disappointed that we didn't get any sort of cliffhanger.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I completely agree on that. The clip,
Especially with how short the movie ran, we could have used like a 2 to 3 minute scene.
yeah, I kind of expected them to like. I kind of talked to Ronan about this. I expected them to like try and fight at the end, and then just be too tired, and then both of them like collapse, and then like that would be a cliffhanger. Like both of them are in captivity. Both of them, then you can just start from scratch. Like you can make it you want then because now they're both contained.
Yeah, and then Kong and Godzilla need to break out of jail.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So like Prison Break, fun times. They
That'd be
didn't
hilarious.
missed opportunities. Godzilla versus Kong, missed opportunities.
Yep.
Asterisk.
Yep.
So what's your final thought?
Yeah, final thoughts and your score.
Okay, my final thoughts are if you like Godzilla and you like Kong, then I think you should watch the movie just because it's at least somewhat entertaining. If you just want to see monsters fight, I would just watch the videos on YouTube, I think, honestly. Like I think you could just watch the fights on YouTube and skip the rest of the movie, and I think you'd be fine.
I
I'd probably
feel like I should have said that, but I agree.
I would say like a 5 as well, definitely. I had a worse score earlier, but I've come around now, and I definitely think that a 5 is middle of the road for this movie.
I think that's fair.
Ronan, what do you think about this movie?
Well, I actually wasn't as tough on it as you guys are. I actually kind of enjoyed it. I think that's because I didn't really expect too much, and I wasn't really too familiar with the lore of the monster verse.
Yeah,
necessarily, so I wasn't too disappointed with all like the missteps that happened. They didn't really seem like missteps in the moment, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like all the acting was solid. Like nothing besides the angry CEO daughter that we didn't talk about.
She was bitchy.
The worst actor of all time too. Like how can you mess up the AOC role? Like that's who she's playing pretty much. It's crazy, but yeah, I enjoyed the movie overall. Like it was a good time. I wish I could have seen it in theaters. It probably would have made it a little bit better. Rewatchability, I don't know if I might be able to watch it again. I'm pretty sure I can. Like I'll probably watch it again, but I don't see anything past 2 though. What about you guys? Quick.
No,
Yeah, same.
Okay.
I'd probably have to be drinking and with friends.
Yeah.
anything past that, I'm definitely high as fuck.
Yeah. Yep. I am actually as bad as it kind of seems. I am actually weirdly more excited for the future. I think.
Yeah, I hope they do better.
It will like. This won't be the last King Kong Godzilla movie that we see, so
absolutely not.
that's gonna definitely be a good thing. By all metrics so far, I think it's doing pretty good on HBO Max and the theaters, so that's a good sign there.
I mean, 6 ain't nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. What's the Rotten Tomato score?
78% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that critics or audience?
That's critics.
Is it their audience score yet?
Audience is 95%.
Exactly. Yeah, the audience loved it. That's exactly what I expected. Okay.
So the suspense is killing us. What was your rating?
My rating, I give it a 6.5. Like I can't give it a 7. Like a 7 is just a little too high.
Yeah,
and a 6 is a little too low. So right there in the middle, I'll give it a 6.5. Yeah, like because I enjoyed myself.
I respect that because I feel like you did enjoy the human parts more than I did. I did like some of it, but it felt really flat to me.
It was very unnecessary and felt thrown in, but I did think some parts were funny. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I may have to rewatch the movie because most of the time there was a human on screen, I wasn't paying attention.
I see. I think you're that kind of like symbolizes the general population mostly. Like they're just there for the fight.
People just watched Godzilla and Kong punch each other for 2.5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you guys want to toss on there? Any final thoughts? Things for the future?
What's the name? I gotta find the name of the actress that played that shitty.
Yeah,
daughter.
she was the worst. Like how can you mess up the bitch role? If you know what I mean. How can you mess that up? Like I bet the audiences cheered in the theaters when she died.
I was happy. I was like, damn, God.
It was really bad.
Isaac Gonzalez or
Yeah.
Maya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Maya Simmons.
Yeah, that was her name. Yep.
Yeah, I said that I actually kind of appreciated her character. Like, there was another bad guy and a person that's actually kind of with the other people. Because, like I said, this movie kind of lacked an antagonistic force.
Yep.
And she was the only one that was, like, physically with,
With
the
the
other
crew.
side. Yeah. And then she just ends up being tossed aside pretty easily.
She
So.
literally dies in a rubble.
Kong one shot her ass.
Yeah. That is pretty crazy. Okay. Well, I think we're running a little bit long here. So anything else you guys want to say before we get up out of here?
No, good to me.
Godzilla, Team Godzilla, always.
Team Kong. And yeah, drop it in the comments which team you're on. I appreciate it, and I hope everybody's enjoyed, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Hell
See
yeah.
ya.